right, so we're back with the We Got Issues Hoodlum podcast. And listen, you gotta like, subscribe, and
hit the like button
and follow us. Don't make it fun. Like, follow, and subscribe. Hit that button on the right there that says you liked it, like the podcast. You know, make us happy. You know what I'm saying? Catch you right back.
Run that sh**.
Run that sh**.
Run that sh**.
T. Jones, star of The Rookie, dear friend, big fan. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you so much.
JC's calling in from the resort location in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Love it.
It's looking nice. I know it's hot out there.
Man, bro, hot. There's hot and then there's Vegas.
Oh,
This shit out here, man, it's a whole different thing.
it's old.
Oh, I saw the devil outside sweating, so I know it's bad.
Oh,
I was in the desert this weekend in Palm Springs with 115 degrees.
that's too hot.
And my car started popping off. It started saying, add coolant. So I'm driving down the street. All of a sudden I hear, I said, add coolant. So I pulled over to the side of the road. And I was like, I thought the thing was going to bust because you can blow your engine.
That's why I don't go in the desert.
Yeah. I don't know why people do that on purpose. Like, why are people always like, oh, it's going to be 110 this weekend. Let's go to Palm Springs where it's already a desert and hotter. I'm like, well, why don't you just turn on your air conditioning and stay inside?
What is the point?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get the heat like that.
Nah, it makes no sense.
I can't do it. But I got the melon, so I'm walking around with my own equator, so I'm good.
Hey, brother, speaking of that, make sure you take vitamin D supplements.
I do actually.
Oh, good.
I actually do.
No, it's a thing. Because black people, because our skin.
That's right.
We don't absorb their vitamin D, so a lot of times we're vitamin D
Deficient. That's right. Look.
I'm taking melanin.
You know,
you can take a little more. If you need a
This
little more
is truth right here. We playing around, but that's truth right
You know
here.
what's crazy though is you still have to have the sun to activate it. So like the problem isn't that most people have a deficiency. It's just that they don't go in the sun to activate their own natural vitamin D.
No, that's from a white perspective. From black people, in the sun, and because we're dark, we don't absorb it.
All right, take your vitamins. Take your vitamins.
I got to take my melanin as well.
I can't argue with her because she's on this side.
Do you take
in
melanin?
Vegas.
Yeah, I'll take my
Hey, just give me the black. Hey, just give me the black man nod. That's all you
How are things going, buddy?
Everything is going well. You know, this production, I started doing a production company, and it's called Prophecy Pictures Entertainment, and it is just, this production end just goes slow. I'm coming from the actor end where we get the job, is like, we start next week.
Yeah.
Wow. Now you're doing faith-based stuff though, right?
A little faith-based stuff, but really just regular movies, man. We want inspirational movies. We want movies.
Feel good.
We actually have some sci-fi stuff. Yeah, but they all have a spiritual component to it. So
it was interesting because Vic was telling me, she's like, he's a minister. I said, what?
Come
on, man.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I like the gospel. I like the gospel of Jesus Christ.
JC also is very involved in church. He does a lot of community outreach stuff, and he's been stepping. I mean, we've been best friends for like 30 years, but I didn't know he was so into the church. And over the last 10 years or so, 5 years, we've been spending a lot of time together. He's very involved in the church. He does a lot of community service, feeding the homeless, going down to the shelters.
Good for you, JC. I like
and
that.
he's just a phenomenal guy. Not just because he's my bodyguard, 6'7".
Who are we talking about again?
He talking about you. Look at that. But maybe he's trying to bring you over to the fold. You like to be on the streets a little bit too much.
I spent a lot of time. JC's met my rabbi. JC met my rabbi.
Look at that.
I'm an honorary mensch, so I'm.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm good to go, man.
Christianity.
Judo Christianity.
So
judo.
Juice for Jesus.
There you go.
But he spends a lot of time. Yeah, Jesus was a Jew.
That's right.
We were just talking about that too, because Vic was like,
He was a Jew, yes.
one of our first conversations, Vic, you were chiming in. One of our first conversations with Rick was.
Yes. Okay. This is a heavy way to start this conversation.
Okay.
But the first time we met, we were talking outside of a restaurant in Westlake.
Yeah. So can we give a plug? No.
Tuscany, come on. Tommaso, what's up, Tommaso?
Yeah, what's up, Tommaso?
And you mentioned something about one of the religious figures of Judaism wrote something before he died. Do you remember?
Which one were we talking about?
I think it was Schneerson about the Rebbe saying that Jesus was.
Oh yes, we're talking about 60. Yes, one of the
Mashiach.
The high priest now, like in these days, not like back in the Bible days. But yes, and how he wrote through all his research when he was dying that he has come to the conclusion Jesus is the Christ. Jesus is the Messiah that they were looking for. And it's all going to come up, but the Bible tells you.
Yeah.
You know, the Bible tells you that there's a cloth over the eyes of the Jewish people until all the Gentiles are in.
I missed that part.
Oh yeah, so we're grafted in to Judaism, to Israel. So it says that they have to be blinded. Let me tell you something about the Jewish people, and this is coming from a black person.
Break it down, Rich.
The Jewish people are the most hated people in the world.
Told you.
The most, even more than black people. I know black people go like it, but Jews were hated so bad that if they believed in Jesus, nobody else would believe in Jesus.
Wow.
That's how bad Jews were hated.
Wow.
That's why he had to actually hide from the Jews who he was. Otherwise, the Romans and everybody wouldn't accept Jesus.
Why do people hate Jews?
I don't know, man. Because God back so burning bush, all this stuff. We believe that Moses was the only person to actually talk to God. Okay, the only actual human being to talk to God. This is what
why he was glowing when he came off the mountain.
Glowing. We believe through reading through the Old Testament that the Jews are the chosen people. So we have the direct pathway.
It's not just you. We all.
No, I don't know that everybody believes that the Jews are chosen.
They were chosen to actually be the example that God exists.
Yes. Right.
Understand this.
Yes.
The reason that you can actually say that there's a God in the world is because there's a Jewish person alive.
Right.
Because the Jews should not exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
They've been trying to be.
They've been trying to kill us.
Like they are slaves at first, and then.
So if there's one Jew in the world,
turmoil,
that shows you that there's a God. Because he said, these are my people. There will always be a Jewish people. Even their language. You got to remember, their language was a dead language.
Yeah.
One family, after the Holocaust, one family still knew Hebrew. And they taught the whole nation of Israel. It became the language again.
Pretty deep.
Why don't you know any of this, Ed?
Pretty deep.
Oh yeah.
Huh? I just don't want to pop off and act like I know it all. You know what I mean? Know all about music, know all about film, know all about that. I don't want to be knowing all about it.
But there's a lot of prophets that talk to God, like Elijah. They got a lot of prophets, and they are. Yeah. You know, they just weren't recognized until after they died. That's the problem about being a prophet.
Yeah.
Even Jesus is a prophet to them. They understand that Jesus came from God.
But there was a difference because there were a lot of prophets that were powerful at the time, but they needed stones and elixirs, and he didn't. And that's when they were like, oh, hold on. This hit's a little different.
He came on the scene a little different.
Let me ask this question. So the Jews, obviously the Muslims, they believe that Allah is their prophet.
Right.
Yeah.
Christians, Jesus, but we see it as Jesus is Son of God, but the Jews don't recognize him as Son of God. They just recognize him as a Christian prophet.
They recognize him as a prophet of the Jews. But so does Islam. They recognize him as a prophet.
Yeah, exactly.
But they think that their final prophet was Muhammad.
Okay.
He was the Messiah. Right. Now they think
the Jews don't
the Christ
feel that theirs hasn't come yet.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. The Jews, they're still waiting on the Messiah.
We believe Mashiach is coming. So at the end of our prayers, after we wrap tefillin and so forth, we will say we want Mashiach now. And you'll see, especially the Orthodox Jews, the Chabadniks, they'll always say that we want Mashiach now.
I thought you were the Mashiach.
Mashiach coming back. Messiah.
No, I thought you were. I thought you were the Mashiach. Yeah?
No.
He has arrived.
No, but you know what? But interestingly enough, my Hebrew name is the same as the Rebbe's Hebrew name. I think I told you.
You did, yeah.
Menachem Mendel Cohen is the same as the Rebbe, who was considered by most of the Orthodox Jews, maybe not from all the Jews, but most of the Orthodox Jews, they believe that he was the Mashiach, and he came back. So it's just different people believe different things. I believe that we all created equal. I believe that everybody's good until they're proven wrong. Yeah. And that's how I go through life, because I live a life of a peaceful warrior, not picking and choosing who's good and who's bad. I know that I'm chosen because God said that.
I'm chosen. Look, I ain't saying that there's special people and not special people, but I'm special.
Hey, man.
Maybe I'm just
I just happen to be chosen, but
at the end of the day, man, we're all God's children, right?
What's that, Jay?
At the end of the day, we're all God's children. Muslims,
that's it. We're all God's
children.
That's it.
Right.
God is like this. God is like, what I love about God is this. He's saying, hey, I created everyone. So if he's God, he created everything.
Right.
Yeah.
The problem is like, how do you want to know me? Mm-hmm. If you want to know this version of me, that version of me, but the truth of the matter is, if I'm God, then I can say only certain things that you're going to receive from me, because I'm God. You guys really can't understand me at all. So I have to actually give you a person that you can follow, because people follow people. Right. Unfortunately, people don't follow God. We follow people who follow God. You know what I'm saying? So
So you're right.
So God had to send a person. That's why he came down in a person.
That's a problem. That's why we're so conceptualized with religion.
That's
and
right.
People go to church and they think that's enough. It's not enough. You have to be in the Word. You have to read the Bible. You have to practice it on your own and find out for yourself. Right. Because even the best preachers, that's still one person's interpretation of a living, breathing organism, and what might be great word for that person on that day. You got to look it up for yourself.
Look how deep the queen be.
I know.
Oh, she's deep. She's real deep. She's not just a pretty face. You know what I mean?
Don't let her beauty fool you.
You know what I'm saying?
Very spiritual.
Me and the queen, we had
got a road warrior outfit on today. She's ready to do some Mad Max.
Yeah.
Our asses today.
Yeah, because she ready for battle. That's what it is. She's ready for warfare.
But you know what? I know that was that we did. We just dropped Rich right into the middle of politics and religious beliefs and all this stuff.
No, I love this. I love this type of stuff.
Okay.
Can we go talk about politics? No.
Not with Ed. No.
We skirt the politics, but I know that
we can't do that.
I know that you are very involved in church and very involved, and so is JC. And I thought that's one thing that kind of brings us all together anyway. And it's interesting, because there's been so many problems going on right now, especially in the Middle East with the Palestinians and the Jews. And I had a Palestinian girlfriend growing up,
Did you?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna talk about
yeah,
it?
she's
don't put her name out there.
She was fantastic. She's They're not all Stacy. There's like
every girl.
There's like 3 Stacy Forsters in the world, and they're all Stacy. All live in Westlake Village. And poor Vic, I'm like, this is my sister Stacy, and this is my sister-in-law Stacy. This is the girl that's trying to get married to us called Stacy.
She's called Stacy.
They're all Stacy.
No, but yeah, she was phenomenal. Her dad worked for the UN actually.
It's like a genre of person. Right. I feel like
Stacy's a lot of Stacys, a lot of Karens.
Oh, don't compare Stacy to Karen.
No, Karen.
Oh, don't do Stacy like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Better like that.
A lot of Shaniquas, but we ain't gonna talk about
it. Create.
Hey, the difference is Shaniquas don't snitch.
Exactly.
All right. What about Felicia?
Oh, look at that.
Felicia might depending on how you treat her.
Bye,
Depending on how you treat her. You might
We're trying to. JC is an eligible bachelor, and he's living in Vegas. So he's like, yeah,
looking for you.
Ain't gonna be
looking for
eligible
love. You know what I mean?
for long if you living in Vegas.
Man.
Yeah, right.
Or maybe that's why you still are eligible.
Especially since he's like a 6'7", just stud.
You know, just
a man of God. Like, he's got it going for him.
You can't.
I gotta meet this guy. Who's this guy you talking about? I gotta meet him.
that's my business partner and best friend. I'm telling you right now.
Man of God and 6'7".
Yeah, and he works out every day. Looks like The Rock. I mean, that's my friend right there. One of my best friends. I love him.
Look at that.
Celebrates holidays with me and my family.
Once I get through my therapy, I'll be ready.
That's right.
You gotta love yourself first, Jason.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
So let's talk about some movies because I know I mean, you know, I've been a huge fan from The Wood even back then.
Really?
With one of my man.
Hold on. What's my name in the Wood?
Slim.
Oh, look at that.
What?
What was my real name? That was my nickname. What was my real name in the Wood?
Oh man!
Then we can go on with this conversation. Otherwise, we're talking about the Wood.
I remember Slim.
Jay
Diggs and
Lavinia. My name was Lavinia.
I thought it was Lavander, and I didn't want to fuck it up.
Oh, look at that! But you should try it.
Lavinia. But they call you Slim. They call you Slim in that movie, and that was a great movie. Tamala,
Yo, Tamala Harris. Tamala Jones.
Yeah, she's gorgeous, man.
But yeah.
Man, these are beautiful women.
Hey, Melinda Williams wasn't bad either.
She was gorgeous. I love Melinda. She was great. And Sanaa's in it.
Sanaa. Yeah, I know Sanaa. I got a story. I know Sanaa back in New York when she was still in college.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah,
you got a story or you got like
no. I wish it was a story.
Rifkin, you know, our boy Steve Rifkin claims that was his girl for a while, Sanaa Lathan.
Yeah, I hear that. You know, I know that's Rifkin's flavor, but I don't know. I can't deny or confirm that story. But knowing Rifkin is probably true.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Is it
saying?
probably true?
Yeah,
Rifkin has good taste.
Steve has very good taste. But that was a great movie, and that was like one of the first ensemble movies of that kind of
that genre.
Yeah. And it kind of kicked everything off, I think.
We kicked off Best Man. It kicked off all the other stuff that just rose to the top.
Yeah, I mean, I love the movie. I know JC. What's working in the film business since? I mean, you've been doing it since the early '90s.
Yeah. What brought you into that? What brought you into acting?
Tuskegee. Look at that. He knows my whole story. Yeah.
It's been on your wiki page.
No. Vic is like, read real quick. Check it out. He went to Tuskegee.
Yeah.
Backwards. I was like, just sit down and have a conversation. That's the thing that we did the first time, and that could have been a podcast. Right?
She dictates. You know what I mean? She is the queen of the group.
She's the queen. That's right.
JC is the king.
Okay. Oh wow.
And I'm just.
So I guess you're not eligible.
I'm just.
You're king.
Hey, Vic, you have to tell your husband. You know?
I feel like I'm going to have some like repercussions.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. Okay.
But you started in the early '90s as an actor. But were you acting in college?
Thank you for telling everybody. What you say?
But you kind of, I don't know what's going on with you and JC.
I was 5 years old.
What the hell's going on? You guys look like you're in your 30s. Both of you guys.
Hey, we try to tell you, black don't crack. That's why we got to
don't crack. I mean, I don't know how long we got to keep telling people this.
Cocoa butter?
Cocoa butter works still today.
They just don't
put some on this morning.
Yeah.
Like that.
Wonder why you smell like my old girlfriend. Daphne used to lap her up with cocoa butter. I go, Daphne, you smell like my friend JC. I tried to hook JC up with Daphne, didn't I?
Hey, you did. But actually, I like the combination of cocoa and shea butter. I like the combination of cocoa and shea.
I was gonna say, I got shea butter. It reminds.
So everybody met her.
Everybody met her. Well, Vic be wearing that like minty or whatever that is, cucumber lotion, like girls at the strip club. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you did not.
I'm like cucumber lotion.
First of all, girls at the strip club do not wear this.
They wear some kind of lotion. I don't know what the lotion is, like
but
apple
she
lotion.
does not wear this.
No,
I wear normal moisturizer. Very clear.
Wait, hold it. So you saying she smells like the girls?
I do not wear the stripper.
Oh no, she smells so good. I'm like, it smells.
Works.
This smells
nothing
so
wrong
good.
with the stripper moisturizer,
This
by the way.
smells so good. This reminds me of something. I'm like, damn. No, Spear Miranda.
Yeah. Why you go play her off like she sounds like one of the girls that's named after?
She always smells good. Every time she walks in the room, she smells good. Everybody's like, "Who smells so good?" And I'm like, "Smell like Felicia." I'm saying.
Smells like
Wow.
I don't know what to say about that. We've never discussed how Felicia smells. So.
Ever.
Like a nice.
Don't forget, Felicia was in the room.
What?
Felicia was picked.
Poor.
All right, she just had baggage.
Oh man.
Get Felicia out 'cause in college, yes. In college.
How was that for you? Theater?
Yeah, I started in theater. Fell in love with theater at Tuskegee, and I just kind of knew it. I had like a little vision of this going further. You know, I hate to say it just like that because we just talk about spiritual things, and now everybody says, "Oh, he's a Christian." But yes,
was it a calling? You thought?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it gives you a bigger platform to.
Oh, and there's nothing wrong with me. I don't know.
I'm like, no, you're allowed to be a Christian and be like an actor. You can do that.
Definitely.
She started also in the theater. She started when she was young as a theater.
Right?
At 7 years old, she was singing in Vegas.
Oh wow!
Vic was singing in Vegas at 7, and so you're doing theater.
She got that big voice though. She's gonna sing for us today too. That was part of the South. That's part of the feed.
She's gonna sing Body Electric from Fame. Maybe we'll get it to break out.
Look at that.
So you started in theater. And you just transition into features and TV, or
one does not simply transition.
I don't know how that works.
I was doing theater. I was doing theater, and I would go to the movies. I've always loved movies, even before I got into acting. Yeah. So I loved movies since I was a kid.
Right.
And so I just ended up going to movie, and I was like, I think it was House Party, and I was watching House Party, and I was having a good time. Like, oh, that looked like fun. I said, I think I want to do it this way now. And I said, oh, okay. So I auditioned for a school, the Academy of Dramatic Arts, and there's one here and there's one in New York. I wanted to go to New York because I was still trying to be an actor. I wanted to walk. Oh, I got in right away, and they were like, hey, well, you can come to New York or LA. I said, I want to go to New York. And they were like, okay, well, it's just a 3-year waiting list. And I was like, oh, no.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, oh, no, I ain't wait 3 years. 3 years. Wow. I said, when's LA? They said, oh, well, that opens up in 6 months. I said, well, I guess I'll go back home because I was raised here. So
you were born in Japan, right?
Yeah.
Born in Japan, raised in Carson.
Like Kobe.
Kobe was.
I thought Kobe was born in Japan.
His dad played in Italy.
Italy, yeah.
Italy. I got it confused.
Ain't never been to Japan.
Damn.
I'm the original Kobe.
Tell him.
I was born in Kobe and born first.
Well, definitely that.
Yeah, definitely that.
So you just like got an agent and then just like went.
I came back here. I went to the Academy of Dramatic Arts for about 3 months, and it was just so slow. I was just like, I'm used to like things happening, and they were like, oh, you can't do a play, Like I said, I was doing plays, so I was like back and forth, and I was doing at the Alliance Theater. I was at Marietta on the Square. I was doing a lot of stuff in Atlanta and down. So when they were like, okay, it was like Fame. Actually, it was you couldn't do any type of play until your last year. But you had to work on the plays and you had to do other things. And it was like 9 to 5. I was like, we're in school all day. So I was like, too much to get a job.
Yeah.
I was living in Inglewood.
Got the camera. Walking on the camera and stuff like that.
That would be you, brother.
What kind of thing, guys? What were we doing over there?
We can't see him over here because he's behind the cameras over there. So you're all good, Jay.
I'm messing with him.
And
that's Carl, producer.
Yeah, look at that. And then so I just started. I said, hey, I can just go in these acting classes out on the, I can just hit it up in Hollywood. There's a lot of acting classes. Yeah. So I started meeting actors and just started hanging out, because I always tell people, I said, look, it's a bouncing ball of success. If you want success, be around successful people.
Right.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? You can't just be around, like, even at the church, I tell people, I say, Lord, you want to be an actor? I said, we got to hang around actors.
Bless you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I said, you got to go with working. If you want to be a working actor, hang around working actors.
Sure.
All right, don't hang around non-working actors. You ain't going to work either.
Yeah, don't take advice from people who are single on your own relationship, and don't take acting advice from people who aren't working.
Exactly. I mean,
which I say lovingly.
Yes, we because everybody has a good heart and everybody wants the best for people. But I always tell people, I say, hey, these people are working, so you want to be around working people,
right?
And that's what just kind of happened. And then next thing I know, I got an agent by accident.
Really?
Yeah, my friend was going to an audition. I didn't have an agent, and I said, oh, I tag along. And they said, hey, are you auditioning? I said, no, you're not ready for me. You're not ready. and they were, because I was confident. And they were like, oh, really? It's like that. I said, it could be. And she was like, all right, well, you come in tomorrow, you audition. I audition. She's like, oh, you're fantastic. Nice. She's like, who's your agent? I said, I don't have one. She was like, and she called the agents for me.
She called it. See, that's why that kind of that's a very unique story. Right. That's really awesome.
So that's how I got my first agent.
The casting director.
The casting director. She said, she's like, you're too good not to have an agent. Let me call a couple people.
Unbelievable.
I got home. It was an agent on my phone, and I went in and met him. And there was like 3 of them. They were like, yeah, I hear that you're this and that. And there was an agent over here kind of just checking me out. And I was like,
sizing me up.
Yeah, sizing me up. And he was like, I'm going to see how good you are. I'm going to send you in for this movie called Renaissance Man. I said, you send me in, I'm going to book it. He said, really? He said, we'll see. And I booked it.
Oh,
so, you know what I'm saying? That was like my first. I did What's Love Got to Do It, but then that was my first big movie.
Yeah.
And it was a Penny Marshall movie, Love Penny, when rest in peace.
Man, you were in alignment.
Yeah, and then it was just like.
Then it was just a domino effect.
Yeah,
like now you got the confidence because you know you can do it. Mm-hmm. So when you go in, you're not like terrified of the casting people. People get really apologetic for existing in the room sometimes.
I tell people that too. I say, hey, they're interested the moment you walk in the door.
Yeah.
Either because if you confidence, they're disinterested in the moment you walk in the door. It's like it oozes out, and I didn't know that until I sat on the other side. But when I sat on the other side, I was like, "Wow,
real, right? Yeah,
yeah." You're like, "This is strange." He had to cough, so he turned me off.
I hit the wrong button. My bad.
We got you, Jay.
But yeah, it's so I tell people, I say, you walk in, you got to know. You're doing them a favor in your head.
You
in
have to.
You know, so you have to
say it. You don't come across as like. There's a difference between having a deep knowing and a stillness within you, like a peace that,
like spiritual words.
Yeah.
Look. Don't let it fool you. Look, don't let it fool you. Don't let it fool you. All right, look at this.
I got a question. How do you memorize those lines? Like that's the thing with actors. It's like, it's one thing memorizing, but then you have to, again, act it. But the memorization is amazing. Like, how do you?
Well, I had such a great memory when I was younger, because when you do plays, that's when you hold memory. Yeah. When you do like TV.
Oh, yeah. It's like recording.
It's short-term memory. Yeah. All right. Because I forget scenes the moment I drop them. Yeah. It's like you study one scene and then you know it. And then once it's over, it's on to the next scene.
It's gone.
But plays is a whole different thing. I mean,
but plays, you have to know the whole play, and you have to. You train your mind differently. When you do films, you know the whole film, but you're still just doing scene and scene, and because it's done out of order, but at least you mapped your character throughout the beginning, the middle, and the end. Where in TV,
you don't have enough time to prepare.
No, you don't have enough time, and 2. You don't really know where your character is going week by week, because week by week, you can start out one way, next thing you know, like, hold up, when I can become a drug addict? Oh, you sorry? Yeah, I'm saying, like, okay, now I'm a drug addict. So it's like, but you have to. You're not like a full-blown drug addict yet, but you're like, you're tasting it. So now you're like, and you're like, okay. And then you see where that storyline goes. It might not go too far. And they'd be like, we're going to change the storyline. So you just never know. That's
kind of cool, though, because it kind of would make you be even more present, right, with your character, because you can't try to foresee it. You can't judge your whole character. Well, you shouldn't judge your character to begin with. But, like...
Always judge me. No.
Right? You're, like, reading it. You're like, man, I hate this guy. I can't wait to play this part.
I always judge the piece. I don't judge my character. Something to say.
You were an athlete though too, right? Growing up.
Yes, sir.
You were an athlete growing up,
Yes,
and I wanted to pivot a tiny bit because you were in the movie Concussion with Will.
Okay. Yeah.
And JC's been a collegiate athlete. You're an athlete.
Okay. Football.
He played basketball.
You play basketball?
Now I look like I played football, but back then I looked like I played basketball.
But the concussion issue is close to me because one of my dear friends, Toy Cook, Toy.
Of course I know Toy.
And Toy suffered several concussions when he played for the Saints and the Niners. And he's been going through this whole concussion thing with the NFL, and it's been pretty crazy. When you were, I guess, researching for the movie and getting deep into that, I mean, just the horror of the concussions and what's been happening to these players must have been just crazy.
Well, yeah,
because it's happening right now. They're like voting on how they're going to take care of these athletes, especially football players.
Yeah. What's funny because Toy, what I love about Toy is he's very smart man.
Absolutely.
Didn't he go to Stanford? Yeah, he went to Stanford.
He wears a freaking hat every fucking day.
Yeah, that's how that's why I knew. Didn't he go to Stanford? Because he's always in Stanford gear. So he's a very smart guy. I know. But when I start really doing the research about, when you talk about concussions and so forth, it was a CTE? CTE, yeah. Mm-hmm. You start understanding like the effects of how these players were living compared to how when you're knocking your heads all the time, and then you're also partying all the time. That stuff accelerates a lot quicker. That's why you see different effects in different people.
Gotcha.
And then you'll have people who, they did the same thing, but they read a lot during the time. And they, they exercised their mind a little bit more. So they had less of the effects of CTE.
Because I was like a huge fan of Junior Seau. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he was one of the greatest ever.
Of course, yes.
And, I couldn't even fathom why he would shoot himself in the chest. Why he would kill himself. And they were attributing
his chest.
Huh?
Why he chose his chest?
Yeah. No, I did not know why he chose.
Because he wanted to save his brain.
He wanted to save his brain. Yeah.
See, there you go. That's why, I mean, I just absolutely loved him. And just the pain and anguish that these players must have suffered for so many years. And you watch how everybody is like so concerned now about the concussions. A guy gets hit, they're pulled out of the game right immediately, and they're like done for the game.
Which it should have been always. It should always have been like that, in the sense of just protecting the players, because even when I was growing up, I played football. Football was my sport. And, you get your bell rung. That's what they call it back then.
Bell rung back,
You just had to. But it's just the way it was.
I was a wrestler. I don't really remember. Funny, I don't remember getting hit in the head too much. But when you get crossface,
that's hard to remember when you're not.
You get crossface, you're getting hit.
When you don't win a lot, you're pinned a lot.
Man, I was the smallest guy. I was the smallest guy on the team, wrestling at 98 pounds. That's why I got JC as my bodyguard. But I was always like the smallest guy, and.
Did you win any?
Yeah, man, I was varsity as a freshman, bro.
His school had 23 people.
19 of them were wrestlers. They beat the shit out of all of them. We had a senior named Ken Kelsch, and he was lightweight like me. And I was wrestling since I was 10. We had AAU wrestling back east. We had wrestling camps and stuff like that.
Vision Quest kid. You
Vision Quest kid. Don't even bring up my movies now.
I told you I like movies.
Yeah, Loud and Swain.
Look at that.
Matthew Modine, my man.
There you go.
Shoot. Those are the best. But it was something that I did because I was too small. Tell you the truth, our football team, they were champs always. Westlake High School were champs. Mm-hmm. Oaks Christian, the champs were there now. But for me, I was a wrestler, and I remember getting hit a bunch of times in the head, and I was always getting hit on this side. And I come to find out that I had no peripheral vision on my right, so I can't even see you at all. I can see JC and I can see Queen Vic.
I never knew that.
But I can't see you at all, Rich. If you put your finger. You can put your fingers closed. Yeah, you can put your fingers closed. I'll tell you when I can see it. There you go. show.
Wow.
He like poked
So I
him
always-
with his
You
eyeball.
had to test it. I had to test it. I'm sorry. Look at that.
But I always
I
got.
know JC, he bodyguarded me, so I don't want him to hurt me because I'm.
But JC's a big bodyguard. I can't
Hey,
see
you can
that.
poke them as much as you want, man.
But when I was running nightclubs, I would get hit. I had the Palladium, like you know Greg and Phil.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be at the Palladium, and I'd always get hit from this side.
Really?
And I realized that I had no peripheral vision, so I get knocked out like several times on this side.
Oh no.
But if they hit me on this side, that was a problem for
Wait,
them.
so you already had the vision problem before that?
Yeah, and we noticed that when I was a
Okay,
That's
so
why-
it had nothing to do with wrestling.
Okay.
No,
Oh, okay.
nothing to do with wrestling.
But that's what.
But I was
you're trying
always
to say
wondering
this
why I was
is
always
lost.
getting-
You were saying that I lost
I
because
never lost.
that's
I
what
never
you're trying to
lost.
say.
I
That's
never
what you're trying to
lost.
say.
Never
You're
lost.
trying to.
That's right. Always getting hit on that one side.
Okay.
But so the acting, you go and you start doing. You did some sports movies.
I did some sports movies.
And,
Yes.
and then
All me playing, by the way. All me playing.
Yeah, you were playing.
No
Yeah.
doubles?
No, I didn't need no stunt doubles because I'm very athletic.
Nice.
When it came to basketball movies, my dad played professional baseball. My brother
did he?
played professional basketball, not in the States. My dad played in the States. My brother did not. He played international basketball.
Wow.
I was supposed to be the football player of the family,
Nice.
but then I found acting.
I love that.
Yeah, so thank goodness. Now I just play professional
No, I
players.
just pretend.
Now you.
Now I just pretend. Yeah.
Now I've been at like.
I wish I played because they make way more money.
But when we.
Way more.
Where we live, I've always been a fan. I ran into you a bunch of times before we really started, talking a lot. And The Rookie, one of my favorite TV shows.
Yes.
And I got to tell you,
I fanboyed so hard when we saw you. He was like, "Oh, look!"
Yeah, I get so excited because I would see you. I
He
would see you
actually
at
does.
Brent's.
He actually does. So I'm gonna let you run.
I would see you at Brent's, and I would be with different friends, and I said, "That's my friend right there. That's Rich. He's fun. He's on The Rookie. He's on this, and he was in The Wood. He's one of my. I love this guy. He's going great. I'm gonna go meet him one day." And then years later, we got to meet, and I got to tell you, man, I'm a huge fan. The show is one of my favorite shows on TV,
Thank you
and
so
I
much.
watch a lot of TV. And I noticed when I was doing my research, you've went from TV and film. Very few actors pivot and can do both so much. But I was looking from the 90s. You've been booked TV shows and films.
Yeah, you've been working
pretty consistently,
which is really hard to
tough.
do.
Yeah. It's praise the Lord.
So you got Christ on your mind. I know that.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah. So
You can't live out where you live without all that.
I wish I had anything to do with it. I really think. I know it's the grace of God on me, and I know. I tell people like this. I say, hey, sometimes you're called to a certain area in life, and when you're called to that area, things open a little easier than in other areas. If you like. So when you start walking down these paths, and you're like, wait a minute. I meet great actors all the time, and I used to be in class with great actors, and I used to be like, yo, man, they didn't have agents yet. And I'm like, oh, I like an agent.
It's the acting class lifers.
Exactly, yeah.
They're
And
the
they're
best
like-
in the class, but they never work.
And they can never work. And this is like,
It's
you
a
guys are
mental
amazing. And it's like, nah, they just,
fear.
and a lot of but it just opened differently for me. So I just thank the Lord for that because I know without that guidance, I was trying to be a lawyer. I'm sure I'd still be a paralegal or something.
What's up next for you?
Because
it was still maybe a way of performing
Right.
differently and probably.
What's up next for you?
Well, I came here to tell you personally that The Rookie got picked up for another season. Look at that.
There you go, buddy.
The show. Just so you know.
Oh, look who came in the room. Big JS in the house.
Oh, get out of here.
Sally in the house, all masked up. Spider in the house.
Up and Boney.
Spider in the house.
Look at that. Spider for real.
It's not really Johnson.
Yeah,
That's Johnson.
You got 5'4".
That's Johnson. Look at that.
What's up, buddy?
That's
We
funny.
see you. I see you. Look at that.
Flipping
You
on
don't that much.
You know this is a man of God in here, right?
Look at that. Yeah, take that mask off.
Hey, don't offer
Hey,
Johnson.
can I get a vegan burger, please? Can I get a vegan burger?
We got
please?
vegan burgers coming.
Yeah, don't
CBD coming. It's all coming out now.
You talk about a man who can find his way around That's John Sally. I said, John Sally knows everybody. What's going on the roof?
We got a rooftop photo shoot today.
Oh, photo shoot. That's what it is. Okay, that's why I was like,
so Rookie got picked up for another season.
For another season for you.
That's, nice. Oh man, I just love I love the show, and it's just great. And you're starting to produce. So what's up next? What's the next?
So now, just trying to I'm doing the producer thing, selling some TV shows. We have 2 shows that we're putting out. Then we have 2 reality shows that we're putting out.
Oh, great.
Oh my gosh.
And then we're still working on this movie that we just got a couple scripts in for that, which is great. You got to read my script too.
I'm ready. We got movies. Me and JC and Vic. We're producing. We're getting ready to do some great things.
That's right.
We just finished that movie Blacklight with Liam Neeson, which was really cool. Mm-hmm. We've been working on Big Church movie, and we even worked on with Grandpa a little bit. Me and Vic, we worked on that for some marketing stuff.
Okay.
But we got movies getting ready to come out. We're doing we're trying to do a lot of things that are just good things with good people we like to work with, and.
Because when it comes down to it, that's what it's about.
That's what it's all about.
When it comes down to it, life's too short to be like, there's art and fun. You can there's fun in art. So if you can't have fun in art, then please don't do it. Absolutely. It don't have to be painful.
Eb, you talking about the reality show we're doing?
We got no. You can tell him, Jay.
Oh yeah, tell me about the reality show.
Oh my gosh, is this a real thing? Like,
it's not a real thing. Hilarious though. I do have Desperate Housewives of Westlake Village.
Yeah, he sure do.
So I've been undercover filming a bunch of these like ladies trying to catfish a bunch of these dudes, But
that's hilarious.
Been doing that for a while now.
Oh my god,
that's hilarious.
Really thank you for coming down today because you're a friend and we're excited about the new series, obviously. But we want to work with you, man. We want to do some great stuff. And
I'm here, man. I got kids.
I know you got kids. And
I got kids. They don't take. They're like little. They 20s. They're in their 20s, but they still chirp like little chicks.
Your daughter just got married.
She just got married, and now it's her and her husband. Like I adopted a chick.
People ask me, did you lose your daughter or did you gain a son? You gained a son.
I gained a son. I love the death, but I tell you, I'm like, my goodness.
Well, we want to thank you for coming in, right, Jay? We want to thank you, Queen Vic.
Absolutely.
We want to thank you for coming, and we're big fans. And
I appreciate.
Let's keep this moving. We'll have you on again
Please do.
When the shows are coming up.
When I make some more money, that's what he said. He's like, we'll have you on again when you make a little more money.
Next time y'all will talk about Tuskegee too.
Oh, we got to talk about Tuskegee. Now, where'd you go to school? Did you go to school in Vegas?
No, I went out L.A. out UC Riverside.
Oh, okay, all right. Now, are you from LA or are you from Vegas?
San Francisco. From San Francisco.
That's why you got
the Bay.
That's why. There you go.
He's from the Bay. He's from the Bay. He's a Warriors fan.
Look at that.
Warriors and a Niners fan.
As you should not
I'm
be.
trying to get him over.
You should be a Ram fan. That's
Ram. What's that?
You should be a Ram and a Laker fan. But I'll give you Gold State.
What's that?
Watch. I'll give you Gold State.
Wait. What time the Lakers playing this week?
Huh?
What time the Lakers playing this week?
Oh, they're not playing. They're out. All right. They just played later than y'all. Because they're the ones that knocked you out.
Hey, I get it. It's not COVID. They can't get that bubble chip this year.
Exactly. Hey, whatever. It comes with the ring.
It is what it is.
And they got like the best rings ever. I don't know if you've seen the ring. Oh, you haven't seen the ring for that particular victory?
No.
That oh my goodness.
Last year's champions ring.
Crazy?
Oh my goodness, it's crazy.
I'm literally gonna Google it.
It's gotta be almost as nice as Tom Brady's rings.
No, he just got his is all together.
What I'm saying? It's all together.
He's my hero. I feel like a traitor saying that because I'm a Colts fan, so I love Peyton Manning.
Yeah, but Peyton Manning ain't Tom Brady.
No.
Yeah, Tom, that was amazing. He was just
he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. Yeah.
Look, I can't deny
so
and trust me.
Strong, yeah.
This is coming from a team. I'm the team that made him a star. Y'all wouldn't know who Tom Brady was if it wasn't for the Rams. He beat the Rams in the Super Bowl.
See that?
It was the Rams that they beat, which was still shady.
Well, before I get my ass kicked by another 7-footer,
Okay.
I got to tell you guys all that this was great. This is a great podcast today. We really enjoyed everybody coming out. JC, sorry for you not being here.
We lost one question. We didn't ask an important question.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your biggest issue?
My biggest issue?
Yeah, right now.
Issue with today in the world.
We do have a segment called "We Got Issue" segment.
Okay.
What is your biggest issue right now that you spend your time on, that you want to help people with, or what's your biggest issue going on right now in the world?
The biggest issue right now going on in the world, to me, it's a tricky one, but to have a little bit more faith. I don't think we should shut down the world for what is going on.
Oh, man, that's a whole other.
I'm not saying it's not a bad thing, but we have a lot of bad illnesses out here that we don't shut down the world for and change our lives for. And I think, we've been okay.
Yeah, our world is spinning on an axis, and
we have to stop it. Yeah, we have to get back to normal again. And forget a new normal. I'm not trying to do no new normal with masks everywhere. This is not like a movie where everybody like
normal.
Yeah, we should go back to normal. So I'm gonna focus a lot of my time just on trying to figure that out, trying to figure out how this homelessness problem is getting ridiculous. That's a big burden on my heart. I don't like seeing families without homes, and there's too many families, too many just people on the streets nowadays that I've just never seen homelessness as big.
That's another day, brother.
That is another day. That's another day.
Thank you for
about that.
coming by today.
Thank you for having me, guys. Look, I appreciate you coming on. JC, I know you you probably got your underwear on now. Look at that. Look, I don't wear underwear. I know you got shorts on. I know you got shorts on.
Don't stand up.
Free ball.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, he's staying with me this week.
I keep it hanging.
Wear sweats next week.
Oh, no, you ain't gonna wear that. It's too hot to wear sweats out here, too.
Thanks, JC.
But thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. Please invite me back.
Absolutely.
We can get deeper and deeper. We gotta talk about God again, though.
Absolutely.
We gotta start with the Lord.
So we kicked it off.
All right, there you go.
I know the drill.
You know the drill.
All right, buddy. Thanks, pal.
All right.
All right, so we're back with the We Got Issues Hoodlum podcast. And listen, you guys like, subscribe, and
hit the like button
and follow us. Don't make it fun. Like, follow, and subscribe. Hit that button on the right there that says you like the podcast. Make us happy. You know what I'm saying? Catch you right back.
There we go.